Hi everyone, it's Theresa V, and there are so many things coming forward from the angels, and they're all tied into presence. The angels are commending us for the way we've showed up this year, and also want to speak to us about how we continue to try to show up. This year, the light worker and the love warrior have really tried to bring all of their energy here, to this reality, to this planet. We have had a lot of energy going to exposing things that had previously been in the dark and had previously been overlooked. And then what we did once they were exposed is we moved right into problem solving mode. Okay, what do we do now that we're seeing all of this? How can we move through this? And what the angels are showing us is that because time moved so quickly, so many of us didn't give ourselves the chance to process through some of these things and how it affected us and how it came to us through the genetic line. So what we've been doing is just moving, and not having the chance to move through the energy to process through things. And that's what the energy of this year demanded of us. A lot of you have noticed, though, that the end of November came early December, and it feels like you can't go any further. It feels like climbing uphill. The energy feels really intense and somewhat dense. The angels are saying that this is for good reason. What we need to do is stop, check in with ourselves, and move into nurturing. We've talked about self-care a lot in the past. This is self-nurturing. This is truly giving energy back to ourselves that we've given out to the world. Specifically, the angels are talking to us about checking in with our physical system, but also taking the proper steps to maintain our body. Our physical system needs to catch up to our spiritual system, and our mental and emotional systems are somewhere in the middle of that. So right now, for a lot of people, it's feeling like all four of those bodies are operating in different realities. So this is a time where we are called to bring all four together: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual bodies start working together again. We need that time of integration, of assimilation. Our bodies are actually demanding our attention and our care, and the energy of December fully supports that. The way we show up in our big bright light can relax just a little during this month. If we take the time to kind of hibernate and go within just slightly, the light of all of the festivals of light counter that for us. So the balance is still there. So the angels really want us to take this time to nurture ourselves and to replenish ourselves the way that our bodies are asking us to. Now, I really wish I could tell you that once January hits, this is all going to shift and change. But it seems like the energy could be this way through March. Now, that doesn't mean each and every one of us is going to be in this hibernation stage through March. What it does mean is the energy is going to be very intense, and there's going to be things coming up for us that we need to move through, cleanse through, process through, release, and then with that, allow newer energies to come into our system. But we need to take the time for integration and assimilation. We can't bypass that step right now because these energies are so new and so intense for our system that we are going to need to just let it integrate. A lot of what is feeling frustrating and tiring for us is the fact that our connection feels different. It's almost like we feel that we're asking for help, we feel that we're asking for guidance, and that we're not getting it, or at least not in the way that we used to. What's happened, though, is that the ascension is happening. Remember, that's what we've been asking for, that's what we've been working for. And if ascension isn't your term, it's anchoring the light. The light quotient is increasing on the planet. And what's happened is our frequency and our vibration is raising. So we don't have to reach up and out so much anymore. A lot of the energies we've been reaching to, our guides, the divine, it's closer to us. So we don't have to reach up quite so far. So this shift is taking a little bit of time for us to understand. We're still going about it by reaching up to the same heights, but what's happening is the energies we're reaching to are more parallel to us. They're closer to us. They're able to work through us. And the voice can sometimes come from inside of you instead of from outside in. This is a really interesting shift for a lot of us, and many of us haven't realized this is what's happening. So we're feeling alone. We're feeling frustrated. And the angels want us to know that they haven't gone anywhere. They're saying, we are here with you. We are here right next to you. We are holding you as we always have. Look for us here. And when you get the signs, when you get those signs that make you know for a fact that you are seen, you are understood, and you are taken care of, those are the little things that will keep you going until this new way of connecting feels more natural. Just knowing that you are fully taken care of can get you to the next breath. And so the angels are saying, if you're not seeing your signs, if you're not receiving them the way you want to, please ask us for more. We are happy to give them to you. Know that we are here. Our bodies need to change with this way of connecting. So for a lot of us, this is involving DNA rewiring. This is involving new forms of DNA being brought in. This is involving a lot of energetic release, a lot of unknotting of energies that have come to us through the entire lineage that we have shared in terms of our DNA. So what we do need to know is that our ancestors that have brought some of this stuff to us are rejoicing that it's no longer needed and that there are new ways of doing things that will serve us better. So we don't need to feel we're moving and evolving with no respect to those who have come before us, because they are able to evolve with us. Their soul is able to evolve as we evolve, and they are so seated in joy. They are so grateful for this shift and this change that there is a celebration every time you take a breath towards something new, towards anchoring a higher frequency and bringing in a new energy. And know that as a light worker, you are programmed to be a caretaker for other people. You are programmed to be a caretaker for the planet and every being that inhabits it. So what the angels want us to understand is that as we need these times of integration, these periods of assimilation, what happens is that we feel better, and then we go out and extend 110% of our energy when we're not fully at the place where we're integrated yet. So then what happens is we fall back down, and it's almost like exhaustion, or we feel like we can't go on, or we have no energy to continue. It's because we went out there and gave all of our energy away too quickly. So it's like when you were a kid and you stayed home from school because you were sick. And if you went outside and ran around with your friends 10 minutes after your fever broke and you started feeling better, you could guarantee you would be sick again shortly thereafter. So this is what the angels want us to know. We are not sick, but our systems need time for integration to become whole, to figure out how to process through this energy. So when you start to feel better, make sure that if you're going back to giving your energy to others, you're giving it at about 50% maximum, so that when you come home at the end of the day, you still have 50% left for yourself. So that tomorrow, if you're in a process where you need to integrate more energy, you're starting with 50% energy. To take this month, moment by moment, and even throughout January, to take it moment by moment and really listen in, really feel in to what you need and put that ahead of everything else. And what this brings up for so many of us is false allegiances. So we have this tribal mindset. We talk about the first chakra, that chakra where we store fear and all of the stuff that comes with survival. We have this innate fear of being kicked out of the tribe. And this fear served us in the past when being with the tribe meant certain survival. When you were on your own without the tribe, you most likely were not going to survive. So this is kind of old stuff. What happens to us is that we keep these allegiances to the families we were born into. It's most often family because they're the people closest to us. But also there are other sorts of relationships where we keep these promises to them that don't feel true to us. We put service to them ahead of service we feel called to do from the inside, from the gut, from intuition. We push that aside a lot of times because we're more concerned about what our family or our close friends will think. This is a time where we're really being called to look at the places where we do that in our life and then just ask ourselves, is this really serving me right now? Is this serving my purpose here? Is this serving the whole? And if the answer is no, then how do I proceed from here? what do I do? Do I need to call in help? Do I need to get a mentor? Do I need to call a friend? Do the things that will support you to move through some of this energy. Sometimes just making a phone call to somebody else and running the situation past them will give you perspective. It always helps to run it past somebody else because we can hear ourselves speaking it and it will make more sense to us. False allegiances are coming up for us to look at, for us to be aware of, and for us to clear if it is time to do so. Know that as all of this shifting and changing is taking place, there's going to be a lot of introspection. And if we actually sit into and allow this time of introspection, this time of assimilation to happen, when all of this energy stops coming in so fast, when all of this energy is integrated, we will be able to move forward with ease and grace. If we don't make the time to do this work now, moving forward is going to be more difficult because we'll have to process through it then. And most likely, most of the collective will be processing through it then. So if we do it now, we can light the way for other people as well as be done with it when the collective starts processing through it. This feels really huge for us. The angels want us to also understand that they are so grateful for all of the work, for all of the torch lighting that we have done throughout the year, illuminating the way for other people, illuminating our own paths, calling on them and inviting them into this dimension to help us with this shift, with the changes, and to guide us through some of the energies that have come up that have been less than stellar. So the angels wish to thank us, and they say that they will be here for us in every way to help us with every need that we have. All we need to do is ask. And the way that they can come to us will shift and change as we shift and change. Just allow. Thank you so much for being here today and throughout the year. I look so forward to seeing you in 2019, and I wish you all a happy and a beautiful, joy-filled season of light. Bye, everybody.